Have you ever wondered what happens when you stop eating meat? Let us go through it together. First of all, when you stop eating meat is that you nourish your spirit. Nourishing our body is nourishing our spirit. Many times our choice to become vegetarian isn't only for health, environmental, or economical reasons, but also spiritual. We must learn to nourish ourselves not only physically, but also spiritually. Nutrients in our food contain scents, colors and invisible particles that attract pure light. Light that is so essential for our joyful life and well-being. Grains, fruits and vegetables naturally grow and flourish in sunlight, and you could deduce they are actually their own form of light. Therefore, it makes sense to consume food that is nourished by sunlight. As a result, our emotions and our essence are illuminated and nourished as well. It's long been said that your body is your temple and everything that enters that temple has a direct result in who we become. Therefore, when we choose to nourish our bodies with healthful, nutrient-dense plant foods from the earth, we are in turn nourishing our souls, our spirit, and our being. By focusing our diet on fresh fruits and vegetables that are in season and organically produced, we are in turn connecting with nature and learning to live in harmony with it. By committing and devoting ourselves to a vegetarian lifestyle, we've also committed to nourishing our souls and our inner well-being. You can't ask for a more perfect health food than that. Here is something else that happens when you stop eating meat. You become physically healthier. You are what you eat. You've certainly heard the expression many times. Have you ever really thought about what it means? And do you think about it when you're making food choices? In some ways, we do become what we eat, literally. Have you ever seen an example of your blood plasma after eating a fast food hamburger? What was previously a clear liquid becomes cloudy with the fat and cholesterol that's absorbed from eating a high-fat hamburger. And when you think about it, we also become what we don't eat. When we switch from eating meat to a vegetarian-based diet, we become less prone to many types of cancers. Our cholesterol can improve. Many other health and fitness issues are reduced. The incidence of type 2 diabetes is reduced. Blood pressure falls into normal ranges. Moving towards a more vegetarian diet has been shown statistically to reduce the incidence of so many of the diseases of industrialized countries. Vegetarians are statistically healthier than those who consume meat. They're leaner and live longer. Isn't it time to think about what you want to be and to eat accordingly? Do you want to be sluggish? Do you want the risk that goes with eating animal products, with their high-fat content? Or do you want to look like and be what vegetarians are? Leaner and fitter with a longer anticipated lifespan. It's never too late to change what you're doing and increase your chances for a longer, fitter life. Here is another amazing thing that happens when you stop eating meat. You feel energized and refreshed. How do you feel after eating? Do you feel energized, as if you fed your body what it needs? Or are you tired and dragged out? Do you often need a nap after eating? Is that what food is supposed to do for us, make us tired and sleepy? Not really. Food should nourish and feed the body and leave us energized and refreshed. The human body is a machine and needs fuel that keeps it running in peak condition. When you're eating high-fat meat, or meat that's been fed antibiotics throughout its life, that's simply not the kind of fuel the human body evolved to run on. Try eating vegetarian for a week or a month. See if you don't feel different, more mentally acute and more physically fit and energized. Here is something else that happens when you stop eating meat. You end your part in animal suffering. There are many compelling reasons to move towards a vegetarian diet, many of them health-related. But many people refuse to eat meat because of the inhumane treatment of the animals that are mass-produced to feed the population. When you eat meat, you're eating the flesh of an animal whose life has been artificially shortened by overfeeding it to get it to a slaughterhouse earlier. They're kept in small pens and cages, where they endure chronic stress. If they bear their young live, their babies are taken from them, sometimes a day after they're born. They're fed growth hormones and antibiotics and kept from the natural behaviors and actions that characterize the normal lifespan. Pigs aren't allowed to root. Calves are kept immobile. Chickens are kept in cages. Do you really think the flesh of the animal is separate from its spirit and its energy? The agony and stress they endure in their shortened lives infuses every cell of their bodies. That depression and stress can make humans ill. It can infect our muscles and organs. Is an animal so very different? We don't need meat or milk for survival. We're no longer a hunting society, we're merely a consuming society. Isn't it time we all started thinking differently of what we consume to nourish our bodies? We're evolved from herbivores, and yet we've veered off our own evolutionary path. One can make a case for hunting and eating meat when it's the only means for survival. But that's no longer the case and our options are plentiful. Here is another wonderful thing that happens when you stop eating meat. You detox and cleanse your body. People really don't like to think about harmful toxins building up in their colons or in their arteries, but it's often a byproduct of a carnivorous diet. A diet that's high in fat and processed foods tends to slow down our digestive systems, and our elimination processes are also interrupted. This can allow harmful bacteria and toxins to accumulate and can create a general feeling of sluggishness, as well as a host of digestive disorders, such as irritable bowel syndrome or colitis. When we begin eating a more healthy vegetarian diet, we start to get more dietary fiber into our systems, and all of a sudden, our digestive systems start to work better. When you eliminate high-fat meat and processed foods from your diet, then much of your body's energy is freed from the intense work of digesting these foods. Everything becomes clearer: your blood, your organs, your mind. When you start a vegetarian eating plan, your body eventually cleanses itself of the harmful effects of these toxic foods. As you learn to experiment with foods and learn that a meatless diet doesn't have to lack variety, you'll find your decision for vegetarianism was not only wise, but easy and fun. If you liked this video, share the love and give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to receive more like it in the future.